Hey guys, First Regardsman here, and so I'll be talking about a Pyreblaster tactical build for Space Marine 2 patch 12.0 using the brand new Hero Combat Knife, Argent Edge. Now, Argent Edge might be the best fencing weapon in the game currently, mainly because of the heroic perk effect here called Scathing Retort. Their post window is shorter, but each riposte deals damage. What this does is it gives you damage on every parry with like a parry window that feels equivalent to a block parry window, but on top of that, every single parry you perform with this weapon will stagger an enemy and grant an opportunity for a gun strike. That is an incredibly powerful tool in this game, mainly because enemies like melee Terminators, Raveners, Lictors, they have many combos that will permanently lock you down in a boss fight and stuff like that, and being able to perfect parry them and stun them automatically, that is just such a useful option to keep you alive that I really do think it's like one of the best weapons in all of Space Marine 2 currently. Now, for the primary I take on this, I do take the Pyreblaster, mainly because the Pyreblaster is a god tier boss melting tool. The Pyreblaster, since patch 10, has been a top tier weapon. It is no different in patch 12.0, and the version we're using today is the Venting Speed version because this class really does not suffer from ammo economy. Now for the perk tree on this, I do take the perk here, Improved Fast Venting first, moving here into the perk Eternal Flame. Burning time increases by 25%. Burn damage is pretty much all that matters on the Pyreblaster because burn damage will scale up with difficulty, so the more burn, the better. Next perk here is Potent Flame for even more burn damage. Into the perk here, Flame of Ascension. Burning 5 enemies restores 1 armor segment. The cooldown is 30 seconds. This is an incredible source of armor restore in Space Marine 2, mainly because getting this back on burning enemies is super easy to pull off. It is not hard at all in this game to just like put your Pyreblaster in an enemy's face, burn 5 Minoris in front of you, and just trigger this off cooldown every time. Next perk here is Potent Flame, going down here into the perk Flash Burn, and then we go into the perk here Increased Capacity, and the final perk Flame of Purification. Burning enemies take 20% more melee damage. This will actually apply a debuff to the enemy that affects your entire team, so really good for assault synergy and stuff like that. And assault and tactical already a god tier combo, but this just makes it even better. Now, the final weapon here is the secondary plasma pistol. Rate of fire plasma is amazing on this build as well, mainly because it has great CHP recovery, great stagger, and great damage, and CHP recovery is like the only thing the Pyreblaster in this game lacks. So having that in your secondary is a really great option. And for the perk tree, I do build all ammo economy perks because you are pretty ammo hungry on this thing, even on tacticals. Now the final weapon we'll talk about here is our perk tree for Argent Edge. Now this combat knife has an 18 strength, 3+ speed, and 1 cleaving potential with a defense type fencing. Now the 18 strength here is pretty nice, but for the most part, I do use this for like Minoris killing and Majoris killing, so I don't really build into things like Shadow Stab as much for boss slaying or Terminus Slayer. So I just go down the bottom tree first with Perpetual Strength into the perk Kinetic Energy, then I pick up Perpetual Strength and Perpetual Strength again for a 10% melee damage increase, then I grab the perk here Heavy Onslaught for 15% more melee damage, and then I grab the perk here Reeling Blow, Up in the Tide of Battle, and Shoulder Bash. Now, Shoulder Bash just replaces your lunging attack. I think the Shoulder Bash is much better than the base one. If you don't want this, you want to like skip over this for the Shadow Stab perk instead, you can definitely do that. That is up to you, but I'm just taking this one today. Final perk here is Extremis Slayer for a 15% bonus damage against Extremis, and that's pretty much all there is for the perk tree. Now for the perk tree here, I do take the perk Plasma Boost first. When plasma weapons are 30% overheated, their damage increases by 40%, and their charge shots use 1 less energy. This perk is an incredible value perk for not only damage, but also ammo efficiency, and I pretty much always pick this up when I'm taking a plasma pistol in the Pyreblaster, because the Pyreblaster really does not benefit from perks like Balance Distribution or Crack and Penetrate rounds at all, so taking this, kind of a no-brainer for a secondary. Next perk here is Versatility. After switching weapons, your secondary weapon does 25% more damage, and the effect lasts until reloading or switching back to your primary weapon. Now, on the Plasma Pistol, you don't have to reload at all, so you are just getting the full damage buff the entire time on top of Plasma Boost. This will basically send your damage on your secondary into orbit, though I will say if you want to take Relentless Pursuit instead for like a flat 25% range damage increase on a gun strike for 10 seconds, this is also pretty good because Argent Edge does give you a gun strike every single parry opportunity, but if you don't want to take that, you can take this too. Next perk here is Emperor's Vengeance. Killing a Majoris level or higher enemy restores your Pyroblast ammo by 1 magazine. Cannot exceed maximum ammo capacity. The cooldown is 30 seconds. This perk just solves your ammo economy. Pretty much always take this on a Pyreblaster. You will run out of ammo without this thing, so I would say on this build especially, this one is pretty much mandatory. Next perk here is Secure Stockpile. Equip a charge sword by 1 for all team members. Cooldown is 60 seconds. This is still the best team perk in the entire game. A 60-second melt-a-bomb, crack grenade, shock grenade, frag. These will just solve entire runs for you, especially in the operations and hard strats where like the boss spawns only put out like a few extremis on you. Really powerful perk. Pretty much always grab it on like an ultimate meta build. Next perk here is Vital Data. Scanning extremis or terminus level enemies restores your Auspex scan charge by 50%. This just gives you more Auspexes versus enemies you want them against the most, which are, of course, Extremis and Terminus. A very high value perk, though I will say if you want to take priority targeting, you definitely can. And the perk down here, Target Lock, is not awful, but these two are definitely better. Next perk here is Precise Calibration. Enemies marked by Auspex scan take an additional 75% damage, but the Auspex scan's radius is reduced by 25%. Now, on a Pyreblaster build, your burn damage will go up with an Auspex scan, so if you light an enemy on fire, and you put down a Precise Calibration and Concentrate Fire Auspex, you will just absolutely cook the boss. It's one of the best boss killing combos in the entire game, and that's on your own. If you bring teammates on top of that, the bosses just evaporate, so definitely pick this combo up here, and the most important perk, I would say, is this one. Concentrated Fire, Auspex scan zone lasts 60% longer, and enemies marked by Auspex scan take an additional 120% damage, but they lose a mark when they leave the scanned area. This is just such a high value perk on the Auspex scan that when you put these two together, they're already pretty good, but even on its own, it is a very powerful option. Mainly because losing the mark when they leave the scanned area, that's not a huge downside at all, because most of the enemies that you want to kill in this game, like bosses, they're gigantic and fat. You'll be able to just shoot down Auspex on the floor, and they'll almost always run into it, and half the time a Carnifex will like ram into a wall, a Hellbrute will slam its hammer, or a Neurothrop will shout. It'll be really easy to put one on them for that. So really great perk combo. I pretty much always pick this up. I will say if you really want to take battle focus for like Auspex on parry, this is also a good option. I just prefer this one. Final perk here is Radiating Impact. A melee finisher additionally deals significant AoE damage in a 10 meter radius. Cooldown is 90 seconds. I talk about this perk all the time because this perk simply overperforms. It will absolutely save your life in operations and hard strats. There are many times in this game where a boss will just jump you with like an entire Majora's pack, and getting one execute means wiping out that pack entirely pretty much. Really god tier perk. Pretty much always grab this. Now for my prestige perk selection, I still take Acuity first. For whatever reason, this will trigger on the Pyreblaster, so it is nice to have. Next perk here, Skill Supplier and Reserve increases by 15%. Pretty self-explanatory here too. And the final two perks I take are Resilience for 40% more HP on stims, and Fortitude for a health increase of 15%. Because this is like the only survivability perk on Tactical anyway, so definitely grab this. And having better stim economy here does help you out a lot. Definitely more than you would actually think. Really underrated perk here, if I'm being honest. And that's pretty much all there is for the Pyreblaster build, guys. This is still probably the strongest build, or one of the strongest builds for Tactical in the entire game. Pyreblaster is an S tier weapon. It is just that damn good on both Chaos and Tyranids, and it is really hard to go wrong with this thing because it just overperforms all the time. And hopefully this build guide helped you, and if you like content like this, subscribe for more, and as always, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye.
Cut down that corrupt Terminator! Melt above, purify!
Very tragic that we didn't get our I think I went around the other side. Let's just split up out here. I wanted to kill the Terminator there, but tragically, he decided that's not an option.
Mount of Bomb anointing! Death, war, and blood. In vengeance, serve the Emperor.
He just walked around the other pillar.
Crane engaged. They come, brothers, by your space marines motor ships. Modes of occult heresy scatter before us. The crane requires attention. The crane requires you to perform
Ooh, double
rites
prizes.
of restoration. Seek out the crane's twin generators and locate their consoles. Then, awaken them in the correct sequence.
I like how the Terminator charges in and blasting.
Tarry not.
They do just kind of charge in with like the most damaging range weapon in the game, or one of. The Heretic Stormbolter DPS is actually ludicrous in this game. If you get hit by every shot when a Stormbolter comes in, you're almost 100 to 0. It's brutal. It is way worse than like a minigun.
Here is satisfied.
One guy. I don't care about one guy.
We do not have nicely done, brothers. The crane is up and running.
Well, we'll do update drop end of next month, most likely. Probably like May 20 something. Love the Toy Story reference. Which one? They do make a lot of them on here.
The traitor tasted the Imperium's justice. Success.
If only you could find out. See, that's the tragedy of them all being dust, is that they can't figure out how to like angle their gun like 5 degrees to the right. Or left in that case, I think.
The abomination. The malformed abomination comes towards us, brothers.
It might drop with Warhammer Skulls. It'll probably drop around there, I would imagine.
Together we go.
Probably has to be some stuff that's going to be huge for Dark Tide as well during that.
Blockage is no more. By bolter and by chainsaw. Purge these heretics. I do not recognize these. Reported to the Ordnance Heroes. Continue with the mission. There are more pressing heresies that need our attention. Yes, Captain. We will not keep Lieutenant Titus waiting. That twisted spear carrier awaits our challenge. Tamed, aborted, and broken. The Thousand Sun is defeated once again. Enhanced visuals incoming.
Did you really take all that damage? No. No, we didn't. But we did. Hail Brothers, what's up, Wreck-A Wolf? Now, I would consider that a value purging. Mine is just sitting in the enemy hits, but any chance of Season 3 pass announcement at the Skulls event? Maybe. Last time they announced a year 2, though, was in, like, July or August. But that also seems like it was more of a last-second decision than this one was.
Back to your dark master, malevolent fiend. Is this the glory Magnus promised you? Ready to reveal our foes.
What's your preferred melee weapon for Bulwark? Power Axe? Or even like Xenophase now these days. Actually, I like Xenophase more on Assault than Bulwark, but I also like the Block Power Sword on the Bulwark. It's pretty fun. What's up, Big Dom? What's up, 3:03 a.m.?
Ultramarines are late. We are under heavy attack and need reinforcements. You should see us shortly, artisan. Make haste, lest your tardiness lead to the harm of our blessed vessel. Wire charging from our power plant. Those areas of the facility are compromised. Our tactics are sound, and our result is unfold.
If I walk around here, you can't get me. Oh shit. I'm gonna do this.
Of the fusion vessel, safety protocols prevent it from moving without an attendant. Lead it along the tracks to the junction station. The seeds of heresy.
Dude, that sniper's in like on a different planet. I mean, that's sorcerer. 2 for 1. Just stay in your home world.
Which has whispered its last lie.
Surely one of these guys will do an AoE on me, right?
This will. Prospects primed.
I didn't start the, not you, the other guy who asked. You know how fucking dizzy that Marine got? Just spinning him around for 5 minutes? God damn.
There are several consoles for managing the tracks nearby. You must perform the appropriate rites of alignment to achieve the desired geometry. Assuming they possess the ability to extrapolate accordingly.
Surely the Ultramarine screen that includes for reasoning and spatial awareness.
Considering this plan of theirs, I have my doubts.
Spin it around. Spin it around again. Spin it around again. Oh, we love this. He's dead now. Didn't mind him so much. I mean, I know he minded that much in the first place. He is mostly dust. I wonder, can you block a new wave by keeping Majoris alive long enough and block their summons? Maybe. That'd be a very niche example of wave manipulation, though. I remember back when you used to have to charge up multiple batteries on this mission. I also remember back when when they used to spawn 10 cultist snipers at once. Those are the days.
One stays with the servo carriage.
The double charge was rough. Everything was rough back then. All the melee weapons were trash. Honestly, melee weapons in this game weren't even remotely good up until like
Perhaps in the machine
patch 9.
is the implemented transgression you're about to commit. Do not speak beyond your ken.
Though I do miss the Artificer blockchain sword.
It does not take a Logis to see this act of desperation.
I also remember when the balanced chain sword had like 1 speed. I think it was something fucking stupid like that. That was the only good melee weapon. Well, there was also the, well, on launch, the block weapons literally had nothing to them. They just blocked, you just wouldn't parry, and they had worse stats than you have on the weapons now in base for fencing. So, like, fencing stats now were like block weapon stats on launch. Gross. It's almost like having speed is kind of fun. Speed weapons do feel better.
One stays with the servo carriage.
Spin around. Spinning around. Line up the cultists. Oh wait, what am I doing? Fuck. It's in the right spot, I ruined it.
One stays with the servo.
They were mauling me. Wait a second, I just remembered I have a gigantic fucking bomb. Sometimes I am a bomb.
Stays with the servo carriage.
I really thought that melt would be more effective, I'm not gonna lie.
One stays with the servo carriage.
What about the grenade launcher that launches melt, combi melta? I mean, that's a fun gun, I think. Well, what are we discussing here?
The abomination One stays with the servo carriage.
Oh. I can't tell how many times I've been robbed of HP by interacting with that button while I was a sniper here. You know, it's like checking all of your walls for bugs before you do any serious renovation, like termite. Whatever, that's just not a good reference. Point is,
Down that corrupt Terminator.
back in there. Next.
One stays with the servo carriage.
How you feel about Melt of Vanguard? Melt of Vanguard is really just the best, right? Best ammo economy. Really easy to use too. Also, it kind of lets you take inner fire in a lot of builds where you otherwise could not, or be more of a detriment for. Best sword clear on him as well, and like that class kind of lacks sword clear in times. That sort of impact, and also just very new player friendly. Definitely his best weapon in siege mode. I mean, it's really the only weapon that's remotely ammo efficient thanks to decisive reload anyways, so. It also lets you take things like the range melta variant because you don't have to necessarily deal with You're not always getting your ammo back from ammo boxes anyway, so the percentage restored doesn't matter that much. The real question is, do you want more shots per magazine? But ranged shots actually have more value to them per shot, but they're both good. Isn't there like, what's the other Melta variant? I can't even remember. It's ammo, range, and there's a firepower one. Yeah, the firepower one can suck nuts. Didn't you just bring back Legion of the Dawn? I mean Damned? Or are we talking about the Mythic Dawn from Oblivion? No, I don't think we should bring back the Mythic Dawn.
One stays with the servo carriage.
Dagon can rot. Whatever his name was. Damn. I mean, Legion of the Damned, just like, that's just the Deathstroke Marines, right? That's why I always call them. Ow. Oh well.
Stop them! The traitor tasted the Imperium's justice.
Which not, it's not a choice. We'll give it that privilege. And I'll say this, if they ever nerf another class and don't nerf secure stockpile, Saber as its priorities out of fucking whack. Or if they don't nerf Intimidating Aura either. I want to plug this in first.
Charging sequence initialized. 0.01% and rising. Galassa, we are almost there. What is your status? The vessel is almost ready, Lieutenant. Hold for our signal. Witness how dark gods are planned. Galassa, transmitting targeting signal now. It is weak, but we have it. Lock target.
Your data is clouded, Lieutenant. Maintain close proximity to target.
Alright. Wondrous.
Reactor is primed for ignition.
It is over.
The vessel is ready. May this machine's service be forever remembered. The Atreus is ready to taste vengeance.
Push the lever, Kronk.
Lock target now.
Routing signal data through telemetry systems. Numerous errors detected due to signal interference. Calculating trajectory.
Mission accomplished. I hope it is enough. An instrument of the machine god's wrath. This would bring tears tears to my eyes if I still had them. A heavy sacrifice of such a sacred machine. Let us hope her martyrdom is worth it.
All right, perfect. Hey, Peak.